Help us if I actually spell the title right.
You're missing an I.
Yeah, I see it. Better.
Much better.
All right.
Alrighty. So we ready to do this thing?
I'm ready.
Sweet. We begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is a game called Political Animals. Political Animals is an election simulation game set within a world populated by corrupt crocodiles and metrocratic mice. In a political contest where corruption is always around the corner, find out how incorruptible you really are. Do you have the integrity or mousery or the ruthlessness of Crocky? Good God. Will you fight your campaign on issues and in the best interest or of the people, or you succumb to the easier path of bribery and intimidation? Will you win the votes, or will you buy them? All right.
Woohoo.
So Twilight Winter was assigned this particular title, so over to him.
All right. So yeah, this is a small scale strategy game. It's multiplayer, though it's local only, so there's no online here. It can use remote play, of course. Never had a chance to try that out, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, political animals. Yeah, you compete with a electoral candidate to be the president of whichever country you're playing in. You have a choice of that, as well as your the candidate you want to play as. You don't have any means of naming them whatever you want to, or just simple names like Bulldog, Hawk, Tanuki, and Wolf, and so on and so forth. Yeah, your choice of candidate you want to play as, for the most part, is, well, in terms of their personal abilities and whatnot, the animal themselves is purely cosmetic. As you're choosing them, each animal does have a default choice of traits and special abilities that they can use, but you can change those. Um, it's a choice between two traits in a special ability, one positive, one negative. Like good looking, for example, is uh, gives you yeah, lowers your chance of having a scandal that you're involved in being discovered. Efficient, that's for logistics. That's your basically your action points in game. You get an additional logistic point um, with each of your turns. And there's other abilities like inquisitive, well, positive here, inquisitive, community leader, demagogue, salesman, and your negative traits is like wallflower, socially awkward, unpopular, poor taste. That revolves around gifts. And then you have special abilities like fabricate, which you can fabricate a scandal to used against your opponent. Blockade, you can prevent um, allowing you can keep your opponents from entering a district for 5 turns, and there's a number of these here threatened. Hop, being able to jump to a adjacent district. There's a bit of pathing involved in with traveling across districts. And there's some other abilities here. The number of animals themselves, like big ones, wolves, otter. There's a good number of choices here in terms of cosmetics here. Some they get to unlock later on in order to use them. As for the I call them countries, but they're islands. They're all seasonal based and directional based, and then there's some other ones you get to unlock as well if you want to play on them. They've got a number of districts that you can travel to. Each district has its own concerns, primary concerns to be precise in terms of which one you want to play on. And then you can choose a headquarters to start from. And they've each got their own population number as well. That's what determines your victory in the end, is how much of the population you manage to win over. There's no electoral college involved here. And of course, you choose what platform you want to campaign on. That'd be that education, health, employment, law and order, public works, religion, and that's about it there. And you only get a choice of 2 that you want to campaign on. And you put a maximum of 5 points divided between the 2 choices, and then you just go off, and then you choose your team of 3. This is your choice of a team's actually quite interesting, in my opinion, at least. You get a choice between having an agent, a lawyer, an activist, a preacher, a security guard, and thug. And that's it there. And they've each got their own abilities. They share the same kind of same set of abilities as you do. That you can choose from. And I use well, not all of them do. All of them do actually. The agent can fabricate evidence, or scandals, not evidence. And there's a courier as well. Yeah, I almost missed that one. And reporter, jeez. Anyway, they've got their own special abilities. Lost my train of thought there. Each of them's got their own abilities. Pretty well implied what they can do by their title, and and finally, you can choose an AI for your opponent. This is between clean, which is they campaign fairly, they play fairly against you. There's corrupt. They're more than likely to do anything they can to try to win against you. And there's pragmatic, which is the in between doing what needs to be done. Basically, the end defines the means. Basically, and unpredictable. They're random, basically. Yeah, your opponents will also have their own team and special abilities, obviously, and yeah, and then there's the difficulty, which is between easy, moderate, hard, and crazy. And then from my experience, that didn't wasn't too drastic of a difference between them, but even then, yeah, it's not exactly an easy game playthrough, and each campaign, each game session can be done in from as short as 15 days all the way up to 30 days to determine in the end who wins. Like I already said before, it's a matter of how many people you get to vote for you in the end.
What, there's no option for like 2 freaking entire years? Unrealistic, I say.
Yeah. And yeah, I'd say 30 days is enough, honestly. But anyway, yeah, and then finally you have your funds. This is all this setup here. Get into the game itself. The way the gameplay itself works is, yeah, you're colored in blue and your opponent is red. There's nothing relating to the real life politics concerning the colors. It's all apolitical as you can get. Of course, you're going to be campaigning on a platform of the two choices and trying to appeal those people that you're platforming for. Each turn, depending on whether or not you got the logistics ability or not, you start with 10 action points, which is divided between you and your 3 staff members, and then you go around trying to appeal to the people um, on the people with the concerns that they're platforming on. And there's a is this done by with rallying, which is building up on that platform. Yeah, that platform of choice, and then how do I put this? Yeah, rallying and campaigning to build up people's interest in you, and you must also appeal to patrons. I forgot to. Hold on here. Yeah, patrons. These these patrons are divided between the wealthy, the religious, and the people, and you can give gifts to them to build up your relationship with them. So you can um, yeah, like the wealthy, you this is who you get more money from to fund your campaign. The religious is the uh, represents the people, and well, not always. There's some patrons represent as more like the common man and such. but and there's influential patrons. Basically, appealing to these patrons will affect how much your logistics you spend, and how well or how well, yeah, much better you get the people to appeal to you, and how much like with the wealthy ones, how much money you get funded to your campaign, and anyway, that's kind of the general geist of how you go about campaigning. Though when it comes to your opponent, you will have to well, you may want to be as clean as possible. You may at times have to do some much more crooked, not quite fair actions here and there. Starting from the events here, every now and then an event will come up, and you'll have usually a choice between two or three choices. These three choices could affect you positively or negatively. It depends on, of course, what you choose here. Somebody will ask you to help with this particular group here. The usually represented by the platform of the workers, the law enforcement, or whatnot. Maybe some patrons trying to um, appeal to you in some manner or whatnot. Or maybe someone from the more not so savory part of society may come to you. Like, for example, a literal loan shark, or some criminal group or something like that, trying to loan you money that you have to pay for later or something like that. All sorts of things happen here. Each of these choices could potentially affect your relationship with the people or your platform and whatnot, and could potentially cause scandals. Scandals, from my experience, they're not too bad as long as you don't get into too many, of course. One of your staff members, the agent, he can act. No, lawyer, not agent, lawyer. He can actually take care of it for you with his settle ability. It's best not to get too many on you, but because if you get too many on you, he might not have enough funds to clear them and whatnot. And these scandals can affect your relationship with the crowd you're appealing to. Let's see now. There's also a gray bar there. You would notice there's a blue and red bar. That's, of course, the people you got with you. You've representing the number of people you've appealed to. The gray bar represents the undecided crowd, and it'd be in your best interest, of course, to try to appeal to them as well. And honestly, campaigning itself isn't too difficult. In most of my play sessions, so like the one I actually recorded here, this crocodile, yes, crocodile opponent here, actually gave me a lot of trouble. Actually, the first one actually gave me a lot of trouble. Yes, some of your opponents can be downright ruthless. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, I don't think I actually described your actions in great detail here. You have a choice between rallying and campaigning. You can give the patrons gifts, raising funds, bribery. This is one of the less savory actions you can do. This is, of course, bribing a district to be on your side, and that can cause scandal. Of course, there's the report action. This is if you find out your opponent has committed a scandal, you can use that against him to your advantage. Ah, um, there's a number of other options during the gameplay as well. A lot of icons here that represent um, but being able to see an overview of each district's like their how much they like you and all and whatnot. Never really made much use of those. It can help at times figure out where where you want to go to and whatnot. Though I can feel a little bit well overwhelmed. Sometimes we see a big, large list of statistics and whatnot. Yeah, not really big on seeing all that myself. But anyway, um, you can switch out your staff members during a game session. Um, and this is going to be mostly for um, who you need at that very moment. I never really needed to do this myself very often, but I didn't play on the very much higher difficulties, um, like crazy or something like that. But there are times you may need the help of somebody who's not in your staff. But anyway, yeah. I kind of just rambled there for most part. Does anybody have any questions concerning gameplay? Or something I missed or anything of the sort?
Not really. I will bring up that based on my earlier thing, it took me a bit to notice this, but the map is clearly based on the UK, which means that actually a much shorter election season is realistic for the UK.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the maps I didn't mention it before. Yeah, some of them are obviously based off of real life countries. There is one that's based off the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, then yeah, some based off of maybe like I think I did see one that was based off like Japan and there's one obviously based off of Africa. Yeah.
But now the Russian one would end.
I think it was Africa. It looked like it. I might be wrong though.
Also, I have to give bonus points for Enricro and Hectortle.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I should also mention this. Yeah, you can use each of your staff members independently. You would have seen this on the gameplay footage here. Yeah, they can do everything you can do as well, and some have a much slightly higher advantage in some actions they can take, like the crow and turtle. Hmm, for example, are actually much better at raising funds than like the law. This now the crow is the agent, and the turtle's the activist. Yeah, they're much better at raising funds than the lawyer is. You're represented as an owl. Yeah. I'm really not sure what the others were capable of. That was my usual pick for my staff, and only brought in others when I needed them to do something for me. But yeah, that's something you can notice as you're playing the game. Let's see here. I don't think I've missed anything
As
else.
far as like AI goes for the animals, or like
My overall opinion of the game itself, this is definitely something I could see being much more fun with a friend. I'll be honest. After a while, this um, it can get kind of dull after your first time playing it. So this is the kind of game you definitely want to be playing with a friend. Basically, that's basically the only reason you might play much more beyond their first um, play session of it. Um, um, yeah. Um, tra-
I have a
yeah.
question.
Oh, what is it?
Is like, say, the more carnivorous animals, are their AIs generally more aggressive, or is it just plain avatars and they take moves at random?
It's just well, actually, hmm. Actually, the crocodile here actually seemed to be much more aggressive than some of the other opponents I've played against. Yeah, but that might have something to do with his staff team as well.
Hmm.
They really messed me up at some points here. For example, one of them had the ability to use a blockade type ability. Yeah, I mentioned it before. That can keep me from moving to another district.
Fun.
Um, yeah, but from my experience, though, it seems to be mostly cosmetic. Though,
Mm.
like I said, um, yeah, whichever staff your opponent has, they each have their own abilities. Yeah, I should mention the special abilities aren't purely passive. There's something you can use with each turn. They cost so many logistic points. Um, logistic expenditure is based on which district you're in, though you can improve the expenditure of it by appealing to patrons. You can lower the cost. Um, at worst, a special ability can cost you about like 6 of those out of 10. So yeah, they can be really powerful in the right at the right moments. And this isn't just your candidate. Each of your staff members has one. Um, so yeah, for the most part, the AI is kind of based around um, the choice of AI you want to use. I was playing corrupt when we're going against the crocodile there. So yeah, they was doing their thing quite well, being corrupt and whatnot. Um, but yeah, that's all I got to say in terms of gameplay. I believe I'm not remembering anything else. Oh, there is a quick play option at the tile screen though. That's basically just a candidate for you to play as. A team is automatically generated for you, and you just jump right straight into a game. That's all that is. And of course, there's multiplayer as well. That's local. I already mentioned that. So yeah, the visuals and art. I actually like the visuals quite well. Yeah, the cartoony art style. Yeah, works quite well for this kind of game. I'm pretty sure it's probably intended for a younger audience, despite some of the slightly complex things it's getting involved in. But yeah, I liked how colorful it is. I really got nothing negative to say about it. I actually liked it quite well. Yeah, that's about the extent of my opinion on that. Yeah, the visuals are actually quite appealing. Um, music, yeah, I'm actually not remembering the music too well. It goes into the background and I just don't recall any of it. Well, actually, what I do recall, it kind of has the appropriate tone for the game of you're campaigning an election against an opponent. You can probably imagine what kind of music, the style of music that was involved here. Something that gives you the feeling of things are at stake here, basically. The exact how it sounds and such, I don't really recall. So, I guess it's the pricing here. I got here. Yeah, so political animals is $14.99. That's $15. Yeah. Like I said before, in term in terms of its replay, this each game session will last you roughly an hour, and and when it comes to replay, that will depend on how well you are. I mean, if you got nobody to play this with, unless you can really get into playing against an AI opponent here, then I guess I could recommend this, but yeah, its replay value is basically going to come down to how much you want to challenge the game, basically on its difficulties. But honestly, the gameplay itself can get quite well, not sure monotonous is actually the appropriate word there. Redundant after a while. I guess, if you want to play each of the maps and whatnot, that's fine. But yeah, this seems to have been with another human opponent in mind in terms of gameplay. If remote play works well for you, if you don't have somebody to play with in person, then yeah, so that's all right. And I guess $15 is fine, though. I would say you might want to get this on sale. Yeah, I guess you might actually want to get this on sale. Honestly, I don't think $15 is quite worth it. Maybe about 12, perhaps. Yeah. So, yeah. Um, this is going to be something you want to play with a friend mostly. That's my opinion there. Otherwise, solo playing is not the most fun. Maybe one game session, that's about it. At least for me, that is. That's my opinion. But other people are different, so yeah. That's it for me.
Okay. All right. So how about do it for not just this review, but the review session. Word about next week. We will not be doing a Sunday show because, well, Thanksgiving. Anyway, coming up on the week ahead, let's see. Coming up on Wednesday, November 18th, we will be having Michael Sternberg of Spooky Squid Games. We'll be talking about They Bleed Pixels. And that's been floating out there for a couple years. It just came to the Nintendo Switch. And let me see here. On Friday, November 20th, we'll be speaking to Vicky Way of Red Start Interactive. We will be profiling the action platformer with a Bionic Commando twist. Get a Grip Chip. Chip being a robot. Not this little mechanical arm. So that's what's coming. And as far as I know, we have another episode of Last News Desk on the Left planned. So full week ahead. And then next week it's we're off because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.